me get all the sounds on. There we go, that's better. How y'all doing, guys? Welcome back. Oh, hey LPs and Viking, thank you very much for the resub. 40 months. Wow, my phone is like really loud. Yep, that sounds good. That sounds good. Cool. I actually have sounds. Yay, they're working. So, just so you guys are aware, I've actually changed over to using OBS now rather than slobs like usual. So I want to see if it's going to be a more stable connection, and hopefully all the sounds don't get all messed up too much. Oh, excuse me. So far, so good. But yeah, doing great, good. Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. And how you doing there, Team Miller? And
hey, Team Miller.
Have you moved yet, Team Miller? Or are you? Is it in the next day or two? I can't remember. Right. I cannot remember. I know it's sometime soon. For some weird reason, I was thinking yesterday. Hey, Gamer Paul, how's it going, bud? Right, so let's give Mr. Viking a shout out as well. There we go. So if you got,
Oh,
hey
thank
guys,
you.
you're welcome. If you're not following either Team Miller or Viking, please do so, guys. They are great content creators when they do go live. Obviously, one thing to bear in mind is Team Miller is sort of away at the minute, so yeah. Something came up and I had to reschedule my flight for the 11th. Ah, okay. I'm not sure if you want to follow that BAM person. Yeah. If you want to follow him, you're more than welcome to. So today, like I promised, I am into March, which means seeding time. So I just need to do these 3 fields today. I've got a bit to go through, lime them, get them seeded, fertilised and all that.
Billy is a nuisance. He will be gone in 2
Well.
weeks. I apologize for this inconvenience.
Yes, I'm not going anywhere, so that's cool. But welcoming OPs and everybody else. So yeah, I've got plans. I need to get tobacco in. I need to get some cotton in, and I'm not sure what other crop I want to put in. But obviously, I do have one big spare field up here. Plus, I've got another field down near the water shore there that I need to plant. So yes, fun and games.
You need some corn.
Don't you get started on the freaking corn. I don't know what I want this time around. I've got a fair bit already in storage from last year still that I'm still trying to get through.
Sugarcane.
I was thinking of a small field of sugarcane, possibly, but I might create a new field just for that. Oh, good question. Good question. But let me pop you there a sec. I'm just going to do a quick run around to show you a few things that are kind of new on here and what I've been doing. You need sugarcane. Ah, yeah. The only problem is obviously with sugarcane, it does take quite a while, even with some GT equipment, shall we say. Right, so let me jump into here. So the first things first, I now have my crazy cat lady house in game, error-free, working perfectly fine. The only thing I haven't got in there yet is the cats. There's still a few things I want to add into it. Like I was kind of still debating on adding in like the crazy cat lady from The Simpsons in one of the windows. I think that'd be kind of cool. But obviously the trigger's there. You got a unload area there. This is going to be going up on my Trello. It's not going to be going to Dave. So if you wanted to use it, you're more than welcome to. One thing I was trying to do is get a working trigger, a sleep trigger with this house as well. But for some reason, it just didn't seem to want to work. I'm not sure exactly why, but it is what it is. So I kind of went through and created my own sleep trigger placeable to go with this. And I think it's going to make you kind of giggle a bit. It certainly has anybody else I've shown. Now, Yes. I went and did it. I grabbed the in-game doghouse and turned it into a sleep trigger. Placeable. Got a working sleep trigger if you wanted to sleep through the night. So it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek type thing. Like, so if you sort of really get annoyed by, or your missus gets really annoyed with that you're spending too much time and you're in the doghouse, well, you literally can in the game now. You can actually come out here and sleep in it. So yeah, I've just got to make a few little tweaks because I keep noticing that the collision appears to be non-existent on that. I'm not sure why, but I'll have to go through and just double check that. But it works perfectly fine, and I love that idea. So that is coming at some point once I get a few tweaks more added to that. And both of them actually, to be honest. I got some bunnies! I just noticed, oh look, I got some bunnies! Anyway, so, since the other day, let's see, I've come through, I've got rid of a bunch of chickens, so they're now in the butchers. I actually placed one down and got that going. I do need to get some food into here, because that is gone empty already, what the heck. I only filled that up yesterday. Too many chickens, or not enough capacity, one or two maybe. And I'm just going to crash that. There we go. Yeah, so I was trying to use the cages that come with the CSZ pack, and for some reason it does not recognize the trigger going into a production. I'm not sure why. So I've ended up just getting rid of them and using one of the animal trailers to transport the chickens, which is a bit of a shame. From what I can see, I have no idea why they don't work. I may have a look at it, trying to work it out, but to be honest, I'm not really that bothered. Obviously around here, no change. Still got my sheep here, they're still growing. I've got my little duck pond, they're coming on nicely. Just waiting on them to mature. I was going to say manure there for a minute, but nope, don't want to do that. I want to do manure, mature, I should say. Let me just top that up as well. Right, there we go. So, let me jump over here. So, behind where my tobacco factory is, I've basically put down my butchers, and as you can see, those chickens, I put in those about 300 odd chickens I brought over, and I've got a fair bit out of it. I've still actually got some running at the minute. It's getting low, but it's still got enough to get a few more crates, maybe, hopefully, out of that. Apart from that, I've added in, obviously, some greenhouse products and some more pallets into the tobacco factory ready. So it's slowly getting there. Just needs that tobacco to get them up and running. In here is currently stopped because I've got not enough trash or rubble coming in. But I did do what Dave's done and put a little storage in here, and it's getting quite full actually. So it's kind of cool. The other thing that I've actually gone through and done now. Obviously, a lot of you guys have noticed the other day that I've been working on this road a little bit more. Well, yesterday I spent a good couple of hours cutting all these trees down all the way up here. Ended up filling up the sawmill, actually both sawmills and whatever I needed over my productions. The rest went into containers and sold. I think I ended up with about 12 or 15 containers loads of wood out of that lot. I was quite shocked. I did take a couple out just with the brucks, and yeah, that's been dumped off. So I just need to get a road painted in now here. I am actually thinking of doing a second road now, looking at it. Obviously, I've kind of cut it quite tight where the bridge is going to be. Obviously, like I mentioned the other day, I want to do a bridge sort of going across here. So I'm now thinking what I might do is up here is create a second road coming in, and I think that's going to be a better one, so it literally lines up with that bridge so it can come straight through and then straight up and over for accessing it. So, but yeah, that's a nice little side road. I am going to put a barrier down and stuff like that at some point. So yeah, it's slowly getting there, that is for sure. My productions are outputting so friggin' much, it's terrible. I think I end up with about 2 or 3 million after selling the wood and some bread and stuff the other day. So yeah, getting there. And obviously I'm still getting my loans paid off. That's the big one at the minute. It's getting them paid off before I really look at purchasing much more. But hopefully, without any luck, by the end of this year I'll have that all paid off. I am going to focus on a lot of big payout contracts to get them paid off. So yes, let's see. Actually, what have I got currently? I've got what 4 contracts at the or 4 loans at the minute. What's that? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, not that much really, but I can get that paid off. Hopefully, by the end of the year. I'm aiming for that. So yes. But till then, I at least need to get these fields planted. So let's jump back into my little tractor and get going again. But yeah, hopefully you guys have had a great last couple of days. Obviously we are on that hump day where it's right before, well, halfway between the weekend. So the weekend will soon be here again, and who knows when Mr. Dajnet is going to do an update. I know there's a few things on the list that are going to be updated already and added into the pack, so yeah. Hopefully that'll be... Well, I'm kind of hoping before the weekend really for that lot, but who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously mainly at the minute it's going to be little tweaks here and there just to fix a few issues that's been found, so it's kind of cool. I've had electricity distributing, but my community buildings do not produce morale or support. They should be. I haven't actually done much with those buildings yet, but as far as I'm aware, they should do. Obviously, you do need to make sure that you've got enough electricity going where it needs to. Obviously, your labour is going to need electricity. Obviously, your community buildings are going to need electricity. If you want electricity going to your factories as well, your productions and that, you have to make sure you've got enough to cover that as well. So it can be kind of tricky. I know one thing for me personally, I do need to get some more labour on the go and actually start getting into doing like the community buildings and getting them working. Obviously, I'm wondering because I have heard of quite a few people saying they're having issues with the community buildings not outputting, and a lot of them are saying that they've got the government building down. Now, I'm not putting it down to that. I'm just saying it could be that. So what you may want to try and do is if you've got it down, like the government building, deactivate it. So basically put it to priority 0 and then let the game run through a little while. But obviously make sure that you are producing enough electricity as well, first of all. Maybe give that a try there, HC. But yeah, at the minute I've got no plans at all on putting the government building down. So I don't have the government building. I thought it was optional. Yeah, it is optional. It's basically just a storage for your labour, your electricity and stuff. But yeah, I've got no plans on putting it down. So yeah, have it down. Have no issues. Do make sure all factories are at 9. Yep. Well, actually, you could have it between 2 and 9 for your productions. Obviously, the houses where you're getting your labour from are priority set to 1, so they get the electricity first. The government building should be on priority 10, so it should be the very last one. So as long as your productions are set to between 2 and 9. Actually, I'm not sure if Dave did anything with those community buildings as a priority. Let me have a little quick look actually. One sec. What would that be? There's the house packs. Also, one thing, this bear bind, you may have to. I don't know if it did do any tweaks to do the community buildings. See, community building pack, isn't it? There. You may need to put them down. So, bowling center. Let's have a look. Priority preset 1. So, yeah, they're getting electricity 2, first of all. It may be that that priority preset was added in late after the map update, so you may need to replace your community buildings as well. But one thing that I did do as well with my some of my building houses. How you doing there, J Booth? Let me tab up here a sec. I've got a house up here. Yeah, so what I've actually been doing, just to make sure that they are running, is putting one of these little displays on them. And you can actually see when the electricity is coming in, that is actually producing labour and your support. Well, that's not one. So this is another good way of keeping an eye on, make sure that things are coming in. So obviously that has got some, it's got no labour at the minute being produced. Same there again. Obviously, electricity seems to be very low on these actually. Over here, obviously, oh, actually, I do have the fire department, which should be outputting some support at least somewhere. But obviously, as you can see, it is getting the electricity going in and coming back out. So that's another idea. You could try HC. These are on the in-game mod hub. If you search for Achi Mobile, it's a lovely little pack that he did a while ago, and he's actually now released it on the in-game mod hub. And you'll find them under tools just here. And obviously you do have like a little display post that you can place down somewhere, but then you've got all these different sizes and colours and that, so he's done a really good job of it actually.
Here's the link.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much there, Viking. Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah, click on that link and give that a try. It may be that they're just not getting the electricity coming through enough. But yeah, the only thing that doesn't seem to work is on these giants storages, which is strange. But I really need to get up here and get some of this cleared out at some point. But yeah, okay, so at least I have one community building anyway, doing some work, so that's something. But yeah, give that a try and see how you get on. Where was I? Over here. But no worries. Doing good. Glad to hear it there, J Booth. Right then. Yes, it's slowly getting there, that is for sure. But one thing I do need to, I think I'm going to have to do is put down a little storage near the butchers just to store that meat. The other thing is I'd rather have something that looks more in place, so something like a refrigerated one, storage unit. I think that'd be kind of cool. May have to look into doing that myself.
That would be cool.
Yes, because I know in here, under miscellaneous, they've got this little trailer, which I do like, and obviously it can be auto-loaded. But I think something, obviously remove like the wheels, just have the look of that. For example, the box part with obviously the reefer on the front there, the refrigerator part. That would make a kind of nice little place, both as toned up a bit. But yeah, I'm getting ideas now, guys. It's not good. I'm going to be doing that before the end of the week, that's for sure. Oh, there we go. Right, so that field was limed previously, so that's fine. So it's just this one and the bigger one. Oh, fun and games. That is for sure. But yeah, actually, you've actually got me thinking now, J Booth. HCs, sorry. I'm wondering if any of mine is actually getting any coming through. Now, obviously, I haven't got the government building down, so they should be going direct. Do, do, do. Let's have a look through my productions. So I've got nothing there. For some reason, my everything's why is all that Oh, I need to get more resin down here. That's why. Oh, glue factory. Right. So my support is definitely transporting, and I've got labour coming into the bakery, so that is good. The bioheating is distributing, so I've got plenty there. The blacksmith, I do have it going. I don't want them actually going in there because deactivate that, deactivate you. Okay. Now, one thing to bear in mind with these, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it'll cycle through the products on that. I know in I think it was NBC's last map, somebody mentioned about it. It only seems to go through one product at a time. Oh, not you, sorry. Oh, sorry. My mind's gone. Oh, I need to get clay. Oh, my pond should be unfrozen as well. I can do that today. But that is building up on the labourers. Nothing support-wise. Nothing morale. See, that's got my support coming into that. Interesting. That should be set. Actually, we're going to put you on 2 because I'm not really bothered about that one. Actually, no, I'm just going to deactivate it. Composter shouldn't have anything coming in, so that's fine. I do need to get this filled back up as well. That I'm definitely leaving on priority 1 for them. Because I'm still trying to make some more blocks. Oh, okay, nope. That should be deactivated for a minute, because that's the big one. That's PFs. Be nice if I could rename them, actually. To decipher them. Right, you don't need to be in there. And we'll deactivate that one. There we go. So, yeah, because that's the one that's being built. I do have a couple of generators down as well, just as backups, but they're quite full. That's fine. You're fine. Yeah, so it's mine is definitely coming through, so that is one thing. So as long as mine comes through, so should yours. Are there any plans to do another barrel factory? I don't think so yet, T Miller. Obviously, there is the one that comes with the Platinum DLC. Obviously, until Dave gets to that point, I doubt it. But obviously, the paper factory is back from Wolf Creek, like I mentioned the other day. Obviously, that was one that was missed off on the last update for you guys. But yeah, it's actually in here. I've already set it up. It should be a tier 3. And yeah, right there. And obviously, you'll still need your labour. Well, if you want the boosters, there's obviously labour, your sport, morale, all that stuff. Obviously, initially it's wood chips, water, and pallets to get it going. And then obviously I've added the wrappings from the PMS factory as the mega booster, and also you get your paper roll and your carton roll from that. I do wish David had added that though, but it would have been so much easier. But yeah, I've got my pack. Actually, I was kind of surprised. I've been storing up some stuff in the logistics centre, and I went through it yesterday. I had like a spare half hour before going to bed, and I went through it, and I actually realised that I had some carton roll in there that could have easily gone over to the PMS recycling to make packaging. So I got that shoved into there as well. And oh, actually, that's now been used up. So Yeah, I need to go over there at some point and get them cleared out. But who knows, T Miller? There may be the old barrel factory coming back. I do know that who was it? Reliant Robin is created a slightly faster production for doing like your staircase railings and stuff. It's on his Trello. If anybody is interested, mentioned it the other day. So go over there and check out what he's doing. But yeah. Yeah, so this week, hopefully the tanker will get an update so it matches in with the colours stuff. The DLC factories are really slow. Yeah, I know. I know, guys, I know. Heck, I've been waiting for... What have I been waiting for anyway at the minute? It's mainly fabric right now I'm waiting for the Piev's concrete. I've pretty much got everything else ready for it, but I keep running out of fabric, so that's one reason why I want to do one of these fields, big fields, in cotton. So I'm probably going to do this one in tobacco, maybe the one behind is in cotton, and then whatever in that end field, so yeah. But the one thing as well with, like, say for instance your Woodworks T Miller factory, you could always add it into that, some of the DLC products, and make them a little bit faster. And you can't do anything about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's the fun, the pain in the butt part of it. And the joys of DLCs, I guess, so you're thinking about it? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, kind of need like maybe one placeable that does all of the necessary stuff for the productions. So like your staircase railings, your shingles, the what else is there? Flooring tiles and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But yes. Right, so I need to get some resin over to the glue factory. I know I've got some in storage because I took some there yesterday. Actually, how much drywall have I actually got? Thinking about it. Oh, wrong one. Because that is obviously one other thing I needed for Pievs. Drywall, drywall. 40 pallets. So let me put that to spawning and I'll grab them later. Then that can keep producing at least. There we go. That starts spawning out. Hey there, Green Thumb Farmer. How you doing? Is Reliant Robin's police station in the mod packet? I believe so.
It is.
It was added, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I haven't actually looked. I should re-look at it. I know he's currently working on, I think it's is it a library or a hospital?
Hospital.
It is a hospital. I knew it was one of the two. But yeah, I know the other day he was mentioning about a few different things. So let's have a look. So there, under others. So let's see. Oh yeah, we've got Winston's Churches in here now. And obviously that's going to output your moral and support as well. That. Oh yeah, there's the police station right there. Obviously that's only going to do support though. Winston is working on something also. Yes, heck. What was it? You put it in modding talk. An arcade, I think it was, he said, wasn't it? Obviously, he's working on his own map as well, so that's one thing to bear in mind. Some things may come over for Dave to use. Some may go on his own map. I know Winston's map's actually gone into testing today, so I believe he's actually playing a little bit of 7 Days to Die at the moment, just to chill and relax. So yeah, A corner store or something like that. Yeah, the arcade. Yeah, it looks like a corner store, though, doesn't it? But yeah, it's an arcade. For a little bit of entertainment, he says. Car. And what's entertainment? But yeah. But yes. Righty, let's have my little drinky poos. Here we go. But yes, I need to keep an eye on my little duckies and chicks. I want them to grow up to be healthy and strong. Actually, how's my sheep doing anyway, thinking about it? They're on 37%. Cool. Plenty of food. Good. Surprising how long that food actually lasts. My greenhouses are actually getting kind of full. I just wish those mint ones would hurry up a little bit. They seem very slow in comparison to the strawberries there. Da 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 da. There we go. There we are. And as you can see, my keys actually work without having to jump out and back in. That was just taking auto drive out. That's all that was. I don't know what it was conflicting with, but yeah. It's kind of freaky weird. And we'll close you.
I had that issue with the cosplay.
Oh yeah. It's really weird. I don't understand it. Obviously, I can understand it because obviously I'd rarely ever use auto drive at the best of times. Obviously, I had it on NBC Acres. I had the same issue. I had to jump out and back in to fill up without anything. It was kind of annoying actually. And I should have realised when it started happening on here. I really should have. But yeah. Too much modding, I think it is, to be honest, recently, so didn't really think about it. But yeah, kind of been going through trying to find those little issues. So actually in my log at the minute, apart from a couple of warnings, I should have no error. Oh, excuse me, no errors. And obviously those warnings are just shape files are just too big. And what's that one? So it's obviously I do have one of the ride trains which is going to be coming out in the next update. I've got one of them leased. That's what I was using for the chickens. The other one was obviously the Alcoa. I don't think it's the. Oh, what was the other one? Yes, the static mover on the sawmill from the DLC. I wish Giants would fix that. But yeah, I am kind of happy actually. And I obviously fixed the issue with the small animal productions on here anyway. Hopefully Dave sorts it out. If you're kind of picky as well, guys, and you want to get rid of that warning, all you literally need to do is unzip it, go into the mod to script, and where it has the new fill types, I believe it is, XML, just delete that whole line from the mod to script and you should be fine. That's basically what it is. It's got a duck food hard, I think it is what it's trying to find, and obviously it's not actually there. Hey Vortex, how you doing? I'll work on the woodwork factory tomorrow. Strange. Oh, issue with... zero issues with auto drive cosplay. Yeah. Also depends on... I think what it is obviously the mods you have as well. Obviously I've got probably something in here that doesn't like auto drive. But I tend to stick to very similar mods throughout. Obviously what I had on Wolf Creek I kind of had on NBC Acres. Obviously I added in the auto drive, so somewhere in there, or a combination of them, has just messed it up. So it's fine. To be honest, I wasn't really using it that much, so it's not going to be a great loss for me, that's for sure. You want me to show you how to... Okay, hang on a sec. 1 second, let me change the desktop.
Billy, they can't hear you.
Okay. Discord. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello.
Have you added in your sound options to the screen
Yep.
share?
Yeah, there we go.
Good, good.
Yeah. For some reason, they were. I thought I had them all in there, so that's cool. Yeah, so let me go through it again. So if you find your animal production in your mod folder, what you can do is either unzip it, then come into the unzipped folder, obviously delete that zipped version, or what you can do is grab the mod description. Hey, Early Epic Gaming, how you doing? What you can do is grab that mod script and drag it out of the folder onto your desktop. And from there, what you can actually do is if you go to desktop, obviously because I've got the game up, it's not going to be so easy to find for me, but if I come into the mod script right there, what you'll see is right here, along this line here, there should be something pointing to the, I think it's new fill types or fill types XML. Just basically delete that line like I have, and that will actually remove that error. Then all you do is literally save, close that off, and then drag and drop this back into that mod folder. And obviously I haven't made any edits, but I can just drop it back in there, and then make sure you just do copy and replace. Obviously, make sure the games are not running as well. So, but yeah, that is literally how easy it is. What it is in here you got this fill types XML, and this is what it's trying to find is duck food in here. But obviously where it's been replaced now with the cat food, yeah, it's not finding it. So that's what all that is. But yeah, it's obviously all those products are registered either in the map or with Cargill, so you should be fine anyway with not having it. And obviously I've got no issues. I've got Cargill. Actually, to be honest, it could be removed from the map because it is in Cargill, so the feed company. So, but yeah, happy birthday there, utterly epic gaming. And obviously, if you guys are not following utterly, go over and give him a follow. There we go. Yeah, how does it feel to feel old? Oh, only kidding. Yeah. And how are you enjoying the map? Because obviously I was lurking in your stream, I think it was last night or the night before when Darius was in there with chatting with you. It feels like I turned 21 for the 19th time. 30 is not old, 60 is old. No, that's sort of midlife. T Miller, 60 is about midlife, I'd say. Or it should be. You love the map? Good. I did notice you were having some lag issues as well, which isn't interesting. It could be your system isn't quite keeping up with it, but yeah. Definitely doing a good job there, bud. Definitely. Obviously, if you've got any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to any of us, whether Viking, myself, T Miller if he's around, Surfing Cowboy, and yeah, if you get stuck on anything, just give us a shout and we can help you. Da, 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 da. That's one thing I really don't like. There we go. There. Oh, excuse me. Heartburn. He hits the naughty 40s today. Ah. Yeah, so you're a few years younger than me then, so that's kind of cool. It might be the clusters of stuff I have around the farm and the thousands of mods I have installed when I loaded. Yeah, that could be it, yeah. That it could be.
That could be a issue, yeah.
Oh. That it could be. Right, so I think what we'll do is I'll get the other guy on a hired helper planting some tobacco in here, so I'll shoot over and do that other field. Interesting. I'm just watching my actual stream through Stream Manager, and it's kind of interesting. The other day it was very jittery when using slobs. Now it seems to be really smooth.
It is, and no breakdowns yet.
Shh. It's still early. Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been running for 48 minutes, so
Yes, and
I am allowed.
so in my settings, obviously it's showing drop frame rate 0, live for 47.10 minutes, CPU usage 0, which it should be anyway, FPS 60. So cool. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to be using OBS from now on, because that does seem to be a little bit better. Viking is a little bit loud, is he?
I am always loud.
Yeah, you are going into the red a bit. Keep talking a minute.
Alrighty, I can do that. What should we talk about, Billy?
Whatever you want. Sing a song.
Sing a song? No, no, no. Don't want any of your viewers to disappear, will you?
Trying to get you in the yellow, so keep going.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. He's just shy of hitting the red barrier in OBS, so it's round about
Hey,
where I
JD.
am.
I'm
And hi,
surfing.
JD, by the way. I do in fact, have a questions for you. What's the question there, Mr. JD? And how you doing there, surfing cowboy gaming? If I can answer it, I will try. Just remember, I know very little about this map. What do you mean it can't be out? Oh, fudge nuggets. Did I pick the wrong month? Probably. But yeah, if you guys are not following Surfing Cowboy Gaming, make sure to click on his link, give him a follow. He was last playing a little bit of Farm Sim, was he? I'm sure... Is it this month or next? I cannot remember. Hey, Reliant Robin, how you doing, bud? Where'd my little chart gone? I'm sure it's maybe this month for tobacco. Tobacco, 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 tobacco. Oh, it's next month. Not fair. Okay. So if I leave the end one for tobacco, then let's see what else have we got. What else have we got? Ooh, I need to work on hops at some point to figure them out. Um, right, for the pig truffles, do I need to own the land with them? And you should have. Yes, JD, you do need to own it. Obviously, if you don't own the land that it's on, including the barn, you won't be able to put the stuff in and get the products out. I have some pretty decent PC specs. My GPU is pretty solid, and the CPU is a Ryzen 37. Okay, yeah, that's not bad actually. It's a pretty decent setup you got there, utterly. As far as I'm aware, yeah, you need the forest as well. Maybe that's more one for Dave actually. A nice Viking nose.
I know nothing.
You know nothing as well, huh? Yeah, I haven't even gotten
Um,
around to that part, but I'm pretty sure Dave said you need both the forest and the shack.
I will assume you will need the forest.
Hmm. Let's teleport over there and have a little look. Because obviously right down here is the truffle hunting. See, I would have thought he would have had them on one plot of land anyway, which it is. Yeah, so obviously if you're on that land, it should just about hit the hut and the whole forest. And I don't think I've got even enough to test it. Let's see. 1,4. Okay. Quick test. 1,400. About that. Oh, actually, before I do that, 307. Oops, bit too much. 14,000. But where are you? About the hemp window. I haven't seen him or even spoken to him surfing about that. So I'm not even sure what's going on. I know I tested it on with my baler, I think it was last week, and it worked perfectly fine. So yeah, not sure why yours is coming up white. Let's buy that a sec. Yeah, so that is literally going to buy this shack and the forest there, JD. So you should be able to, yeah, you'd have to have both of them then. Unless you've edited it somehow. It's not 95 at all. I thought the barn looks... Yeah. So that's it right there. 86 it should be. Obviously 95 you'd get the BGA. But yeah. And the nice thing is you can sell it afterwards. Right, so let's get rid of that 14 million that I accidentally put in there. 14, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, fiddlesticks. Why didn't anybody tell me I was going the wrong way? 28 now. There we go, back to normal. No worries. Yeah, I haven't even thought about truffle hunting yet. Right, so we were doing a little bit of this. Ooh. Okay, so I've got him planting flax. I think I'll do flax instead of cotton this time, actually. We tried, you went too fast. I got 3 miles. My piggies are already... Ah, blimey. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I had a feeling that Dave had it all on one plot, so it's kind of weird how it wasn't working. Right, right, so digital displays, searches for nearest stats, community bowling, morale. I think the community church needs a fix. I haven't even got the church down. What's in there? Let's have a look. Church WC. Let's have a look in the XML. And let's jump over here. Let's have a little look, shall we? What's going on with this? So it's on priority preset 1. While I'm here, what I'm going to do is compare this with something from the community pack, the bowling center. So let's put that into other view. So auto delivery is true, which is hide from menu true. Yep, so that's fine. And share through capacity false, that's fine. Obviously it needs a little bit more electricity. So obviously this is the church, this is the bowling center for anyone who's interested. So obviously what it's basically going to do is split that 15 between the two to make 10 of that. So yeah, that should be fine. Capacity is fine. So it's always 3 times as much. So yeah, that looks perfectly fine to me. Going against that. Loading station. Obviously, selling station should have all the. That's interesting. Look at that. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, because obviously it's hidden. It shouldn't show anyway. So yeah. Community needs to fix. Yeah. So out of interest. Your church. It's showing that it's got straw in it, is it? In wood chip? Do you have like a silo or the bioheating place nearby? But yeah, it should not have that much electricity, straw, and wood chips in it. As you can see, the capacity is only like 30. So it's a very small amount, so it's literally going to make them put straight out. Blow the buff button nearby. That could be picking up on that as well then. That may be what that is. So obviously if you've got one of... Where the heck is it? One of these guys nearby, it could be picking up on that. So you may want to look at going slightly further away from it with the display. That's kind of why they're spread out. So yeah. If I put 6-line display, then I'll see it. Yeah. Actually, that's got another idea as well. It's nice to see a farm sim streamer. Yeah, no, everyone seems to be interested in Hunter Call of the Wild or 7 Days to Die. But yeah, this is what I do, so this is what I play. There we go. Yeah, they've got quite a big hit radius actually. Some of those displays, so it's kind of nice. I've got actually one. There's 2 lines on it on my silo there, and obviously Bauer Logistics has it as well. So this slightly big one here, it has 52 lines on it. Now, I like this one because it actually shows if you've got like a large production or a storage or something. I don't know if I'm going to get close enough to see that. I'm not. But yeah, it actually adds in two distinctive lines of products that's in there. Actually, Mobile done a really good job on that actually. But yes, obviously if you're showing up different products in there, yeah, That won't help. But yeah, at some point I need to get into my pond, get some clay. But I can do that later. Cool. I thought that pond was like super deep and empty. It's just the reflection off the flicking mountain behind it. Oh man, that's terrible. But yeah, I basically just went through and added in like the smallest one. I'm here. How you doing, triple noob?
What a name.
I like that name, triple noob one. But yeah, how you doing there? But as always, guys, if you've got any questions, you are more than welcome to drop it in chat and we'll try and answer it and help you out. Anytime, obviously, Dave will help out, obviously Viking when he's streaming, even actually
I know nothing.
Darius. Even Darius will even help you out when he's doing like 7 Days to Die and you're having issues on the map. I'm a quad noob. No, you're not, Team Miller. You're getting there. Just think about it. You've actually done a couple of productions from scratch. That is very impressive. That really, really is. You should be proud of yourself. Let me change that back so you're not getting that little thing popping up. Good. Also, it's pronounced Nubay. Okay, thank you very much for that. Nubay, I'll have to remember that. And it means cloud. Ah, triple cloud. Okay, nice one. I like that.
Even Mr. Alpaca got to learn something.
I do. I did. And I'm gonna, because I'm a noob, I'm gonna screenshot that for later on just so I don't mistake that one again. So that's cool. Nubay. Triple Nubay. Nice. Out of curiosity, where is that from anyway? Because I don't think that's anything from around here, that's for sure. Let me do that. There we go. Oh, too fast, too fast. There we go. Slow down. Drive me to the moon. That means you're a quad cloud. Yeah. Big, soft, and fluffy. Actually, yeah, I could see that for T Miller. He is big and soft and fluffy, if you ask me. In Canada, they have something called a pizza pops. Okay. I may post a for my NHL factory. I'll postpone your NFL and make that one for our Canadian friends. That's an idea. It sounds very similar to what my daughter's been eating recently. It's kind of like a pizza pocket. And it's basically a square pizza. Half of it gets filled in with like whatever you want, so your cheese, your tomato, pepperoni and stuff. But then the other half gets folded over on top. So yeah, it sounds something like that. And then you oven cook it. It's quite nice. She's really enjoying them. Pizza flavor hot pockets. Ah, okay. Yeah. Very hot. Yeah, that sounds very similar to what my daughter's been eating recently, so yeah. And she's kind of gone off eating normal pizzas at the minute, so it's kind of nice that she's still eating pizzas, but in a different way. She's very limited on what she does eat and enjoys. She'll eat like things like hot dogs, pizzas. She's kind of gone off omelettes at the minute. But we have got her into eating things like bacon and the sausage and stuff like that, so yeah. I learned about them in Eminence Street, yeah. Eminem stream earlier today. Ah, okay. Yeah, I keep missing his streams actually. It's not good. Be honest, if he was on PC, then I might lurk more in his. uh, it's been the best West Constant ever. Ah, okay. Cool. Yes. Oh, what was that I was watching the other day? And they said something as well. Oh, I don't know if you guys know it. You might do. A program called American Pickers. It's a guy I think it's out of Illinois. He goes around picking different places and stuff. And collecting up like antiques and stuff like this. What people would class as trash. And there was a guy he went to see, and he was because obviously he was down south, I think it was, and obviously they were traveling down country, and he kind of described them as a pile, basically. Oh, when they're there, they're always up and down, up and down, up and down. But when they go back up, it's great. It's like, what the heck? Didn't quite get it right, but yeah, it was kind of funny the way he said it. Also, P.S. We drink beer like it's tap water. Yeah, I know a fair few people around here as well who can drink beer like tap water. Or alcohol, to be honest. Yeah, pizza pops are awesome. They are just stuffed full of pizza sauce, pepperoni, and cheese. Yeah, that sounds like what we've got. It's I think it's Chicago Town that's done the one that we've got. So yeah, it must be very very similar.
I have a friend in Wales.
Mhm.
I actually call him SpongeBob due to his alcohol
Yeah.
consumption.
To be honest, I think everyone has been there, and even myself. To be honest, I did when I was a lot younger and when I was chef and started drinking a lot. And
So
then
did
obviously,
I.
then one day, like anything, drunk too much, and yeah, that just put me right off. And I haven't had another drink in nearly 14 years, so it's doing quite well. I try the displays on either side of the community church, but I'm still getting no stats for electricity, morale, and support. That is really weird. Oh, dang it. How much is that? PV, others. Obviously, if I've got enough to put it down to 95. B. Okay, I'm going to save. I'm going to do a quick test to help out HC. So let me save that. What about sausage? Oh yeah, sausage ain't bad. Depending on the sausage. If it's a nice spicy sausage on a pizza, that is really nice. Actually, there is one type of sausage I've been hunting for high and low around here in the UK, and I cannot find it. And it's a decent tomato sausage. Really? You're going to save twice? Freaking thing. Right. Let me jump over here. I've got a big gap here. I'm going to do a quick test on that church just to see if it is working properly or not. Now, hopefully I've got enough product being produced electric wise to get it going. So construction here into the others, so church, and we'll just dump it down there. Obviously the reason I saved there, guys, is so I can restart it in a minute. Something doesn't look right there. I wonder if that's meant to be like that, or if it's meant to have an actual texture. Righty. Now, is there anything There's usually a player. Oh, wrong one. Trigger. It could be that it's just too deep inside the building. Or it's not set to show. That could be what it is. Okay, so let's have a look. So come into here, come into construction, to tools. Now, one of these little ones should be more than adequate to show if there's anything going on. So it's definitely working for me. Actually, no, it's not, because that's picking up the carton roll and everything. Okay, so that is too close. Let's come up here then. I lost count of how many times I burnt my finger with people's pop. Yeah. So that is definitely not there. Let's try a little bit further away, because it's definitely still getting that interference. And while I'm here, we're coming to buildings, tools. I'll just put an even bigger one down. Curtain roll. That's still picking up over there. Now, I do not think there's a way of customizing these things either. Okay, so I don't know if that's actually working or not. Let me. I've got an idea. Let's take a backup of my save game a sec, so I can restore it afterwards. So save game 6. We'll copy you into there. Right, so as those displays seem to be absolutely useless on that, it may need a little bit of a tweak on that, so let's sell that. And we'll run that through the hour. Right, let me pause that there a sec. Stop, 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 stop. Right, so if I save this, let me switch to the desktop. I'm going to show you something as well. I found out last week that my sister's new husband studied CAD, and he knows Blender really very well. I'll ask him if he can help with the new buildings for my mods. That would be a really great idea, actually, Team Miller. That would definitely help. Right, let's have a little look. So, if I come into here, FS22, save game 6, into placeables. So, at the bottom, the last thing that should have been added is obviously the 2 churches. Right there and right there. Obviously, as you can see, there is no storage or anything showing in there. So let's close that a minute. And we'll run that on. We'll do say 2 hours. Because obviously that should technically add something in. Actually, let's leave it there a sec. Don't want it quite on the hour yet. That should have actually produced something on the hour. So we'll save that. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum. Oh, maybe he will understand. Let's close out a sec. Let's go back into you. So documents. They sound the same. Pizza. Oh, pizza rolls. Yeah, they do sound very similar, don't they? So maybe he will understand G better than me. Also, it's possible, team. But also, like I said, at any time you need any help with GE, let me know and I'll help you out. That is what is Blender. That is no CAD. Okay. don't know. Let's have a little look. So, my games, 22. Now, obviously, a minute ago that was shown that there was nothing in storage for the church. So, if I come in back into the placeables, reload that. Oh, there we go. And yeah, that doesn't seem to have anything there. And it should. So obviously there's refined power. That's my diesel generator. It should basically show something similar to that, where you have like the storage then coming through with like electricity and whatever else. Okay, so that is still nothing on either of those. Let's zoom that on another hour. We should go through a little bit at a time. So that should definitely have at least accumulated something. So we'll stop that there and we'll save. Maybe that it needs to be looked into. Something is definitely missing with that church from what I can see. Let me. Right, so yes. Yeah, so that's just updated. Actually, I'll close that just to make sure. And that one. And that one. Oh, go away. And we'll open that folder again just so we are doubly sure. We'll scroll down to the church, which should be right at the end here. Right, so we got refined power. Yeah, there is definitely nothing at all coming out of that church or going into it. So I think Dave or myself is going to have a look into that. Something is definitely wrong. It should be getting electricity coming into it, and like your labour support or whatever coming out, basically showing up something like this or something like this. So yeah, that's probably the issue there. HC, it's not actually producing anything there, or actually taking anything in. Let's just have a look at that XML again. So that's going to be the church by Mr. Winston. Let's see something. Revamp. Yep. Okay, so that is fine. Come into here. Production point, that's set up. Yeah, that's all set up as it should, but yeah, for some reason it's just not working. Interesting. Well, hopefully if Mr. Dave is out there watching, lurking, he's probably going to have a look into that and double test it. So, obviously I want to quit you. I don't want to go on any further, but yeah. Obviously we'll try and get that sorted out HC. So yeah, that will explain it. Dang it. Alright, and let's catch up. So, Billy, would it be easier to change the name of the church? Nope. If I wanted to do it. Oh, if you want to change the name, I'm just going to this. Oh, where is it? The store and demolish. Or if you click on it, it should come up with the option to rename, sell, and stuff like that. You should be able to rename it there, I believe. And that's the same with any building as well. If it's set up correctly, it should be able to be renamed. Oh, this bit really bothers me. It takes forever to reload. Come on. Our interest. Has anybody tried out those containers from Hispano Modding yet? Right. I think he meant the model itself. You meant on the sign there. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think so. You have new. Yeah. Okay. Right. That can go. Don't need that anymore. Desktop. And fail hybrid version 6. Thank you very much for that follow. Welcome in, buddy. Right, I need to restore my game. So, game same 6. We'll just copy that into there. Yes, replace all that. Say goodbye. And we'll load that back up. Sup, King. Not doing too bad on yourself there, bud. Just doing a bit of a quick test there. That one. There we go. And let me put you all back the way you were. On the on the model itself, on the sign there, you could T Miller actually. I'm just testing my mate's mods. Okay, what are you testing there? Out of interest. And I sold it as soon as I bought it. Really? I kind of like it actually. I haven't used it that much, but yeah, I have used it. I have no problems with the container mod, and I also used the Winter Wolf. That is a really weird one. I don't know what the heck was going on the other day with that. But obviously, like I mentioned on Monday's stream, I actually changed the truck to one of the Volvos, the base game Volvos, and I had no issues. It was really weird. But as soon as I had that Winter Wolf attached to it, it just didn't like it at all. So, I don't think the container mod doesn't work well on servers. It could be. It could be. But yeah, obviously I do single player, so yeah. And that's something else that I find interesting. You get people who are more into their single player games and yet they still do servers and stuff. It's like, why? Because they always go off on their own. Not naming any particular name, but yes, he'll be streaming a little bit later. Alrighty, let's see. But yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely have a look into that HC and try and get that fixed. But yeah, I like my little doghouse sleep trigger. It's kind of cool. Right then, so let me jump back to Farm Sim. There we go. I need to find a way of doing the remote control for the OBS. Right. Get it working again. So we're currently up here. So you're doing that job, Mr. Flax. And I was doing subliming, wasn't I? Yes. So let's do this, and I will check. Ooh, not harvest. I want lime spreader there. Right. And straight. Oh, fidge. Alt. Oh, that's one. I accidentally did home and yeah, Windows, and it just closed all my programs down for a second. That's not good. Well, minimalized it, so yeah. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that. There we go. We're good now. Obviously, in about 5-10 minutes, I'll probably take a quick break. So cool. I used the container to deliver cement to the bridges using the Winter Wolf, and I have a small one storing gold bars. So that is a good idea, actually. I do know that Hispano Modding are planning on doing a B train, I think it's called, where you can hook up multiple trailers together in a similar way for those. So that is going to be kind of a nice idea. You'll actually be able to transport multiple products, not just the one. Obviously, the nice thing is, obviously, with the way that's set up, the way the 82 Studio set it up is, it's actually removing those pallets off of the map temporarily. And obviously, once you start moving, you're going to have really good frames with that. That's one kind of nice idea of being on a 16x map as well. It's going to help you guys out a lot, especially when you're moving like 100 pallets of concrete, 100 pallets of glass, 100 pallets of this, 100 pallets of that, or more. Even like, say for instance, the products from the greenhouses, or nails, for example, like Darius the other week when he was transporting, was 160. His frame rates dropped dramatically. Obviously, adding it into like a, obviously you could put it into a trailer if you wanted to, actually, because it's a bulk product. But put it into like a container that removes it off the map. It is going to make life so much simpler. Servers, if it's going to work properly on servers, that is, it's going to make you guys' lives a lot better and easier. So yeah, I like playing on the server because the map just runs better on there. Yeah, exactly. Because obviously it's taken a lot of the resources from your computer and put it on to the server. So yeah, I can see why people like doing servers. Obviously, I think if I was to do a server, I'd probably set it up just for me. But the issue I have is, if say the server has an issue, can I fix it? This is the thing. Do I go with a company or just do my own little one? Set up like a, I would say a separate computer, but I ain't got one at the minute, so to run off of. But yeah, I don't know. It would be helpful actually having it on a server in case something ever happened to my computer. But obviously I do regular updates onto a external drive, so that should be fine actually at the minute. So his map is called Summers Farmland. It's big, but there is so many stuff getting added. Yeah, sounds a lot like this map, to be honest. There, Fail Hybrid. Yeah, oh geez, this map has, I think it's over 100 different placeable productions. There's different animals in there, different crops on the map. Yeah, it's just a Dajnet map in general. Over the top, but amazing, that's for sure. The TLX Phoenix flatbed attachment does that as well. Exactly. Yeah, and obviously with the way that I showed you guys the other day, changing it to that fill type category product for the TLX flatbeds will remove any warnings as well you guys get. And that's another one as well, because obviously you got the trailer attacher on that as well, that you could technically set up a little road train and have each individual one with a different product in. That's the only downside, is obviously it has to have a single product in there, so ooh. Alfred Prom, how you doing, bud, by the way? I have recovered all of my FPS moving pallets with the TLX and avoiding rollers. Actually I do like doing rollers, so I don't know why that would give any lag. But yeah, definitely using the TLX or like the containers, for example, is a good idea, because obviously it's taking those pallets off until you need them. And obviously that's another reason I like the Bauer Logistics over the Giants type of storage as well, because virtually you're not seeing them in game, unlike the Giants one where it's got like that visual look of them showing in. I don't like that. From 9 up to 40, that is amazing, and that just shows it as well. Obviously another thing as well to bear in mind, if you do have a lot of pallets on the map as well, that is also going to affect your frame rates. So trying to keep them off the map as much as possible is going to help. But yeah, that is really good to know, Alfred Prom. The orchards, ... So yeah, obviously I've got the orchards the placeable orchards, from Wolf Creek, just temporarily until I get my other farm set up over in that far distance over there somewhere. Yeah, it's only doing an what was it, the peaches and the oranges, I think it was, at the minute for the tobacco factory. But yeah, obviously those are fillable pallets, so you could actually technically shove them into a tipper if you wanted to. And obviously we have mentioned that before, the same with the nails. You could actually drive up next to it with a trailer and fill them up into the actual trailer if you didn't want to move those pallets. Still not sure why Not So Grumpy Dwarf was having a lot of issues the other day with the strawberry pallets. I moved, oh, how many was it I did the other day? I think I had about 30 pallets of strawberries on Surfin's flatbed. No issues at all. Okay, I may have lost 1 or 2 frames, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. I've been using the Phoenix flatbed since NPC Acres. Yeah, I know. I know, Mr. Miller, I know. But yeah, that is definitely a good way of moving them around. Obviously, a short distance, yeah, I could just throw it onto the flatbed. But to be honest, I've got a pretty decent system. I moved those 2 trailer loads hooked up together earlier. And from the sawmill, it was literally full parts. I don't know how many was actually there. And I literally only lost maybe 5 FPS the whole time. But obviously that is another thing, if you do have like a low-end PC, maybe look at using these TLXs and the container pack from Hispano Modding, because obviously the way they're set up, it does remove those pallets, so yeah, definitely go for it, guys. Fillable pallet of 5,000 litres is a good way to move goods and store animal food. Yeah, that it is. I was kind of thinking about that actually, with I think maybe the orchard products, to maybe see if we can get a high capacity pallet set up that you could actually fill up for transporting them. And obviously base game wise, I'd probably use something like the grape pallet, a nice big grape pallet, maybe increase the size and see if you can fill the products into that. Have it set to like 5,000 litres or something, or 10,000. I think that would be a really cool idea. 82 Studios has a pallet called the Global Pallet Transport. Yeah, and it works in the same way as the containers in fact. Yeah, exactly, Teamer, exactly. Actually, I have heard a few people have had issues getting it to unload though, that's the only thing. That is the only thing. But yeah, one thing I do want to work on is obviously looking at getting my cats at some point. Also, I do need to get in and start doing some fishing, so I can actually make some of the fishy foods. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go into actually doing the lobster side, but I think if I remember rightly, you should be able to add them in individually. So I should be able to put fish in there if I want to, and top it up with something else and go from there. It's called a lizard fillable metal box. Okay. Yeah, so some... Oh yeah, because you mentioned that the other day, Alfred Prom, didn't you? Yes, I remember now, and this is really going to struggle coming up here. Come on, I need a bigger tractor. I need to get Big Bessie out. And if you wonder what my Big Bessie is, no, it's none of the base game stuff. I've had this for friggin' ages. The Fent Tri 6. When it pops in. Completely error free, which I'm kind of shocked at. But I really want to get this in game and actually using it. But it's also trying to afford it as well. Might just take out a loan and actually try it. I used it in 19, and obviously so far in 22 I've not had a map with big enough fields to warrant even using it. Oh. Actually, that's one of 2 additional vehicles I've actually got in here. There's the Fendt Tri-6, and I found a really funky little forklift as well the other day when I was looking at that the curtain side trailer that has the forklift on the back. I found a separate forklift, and it's just a nice little one. I'll actually show you off in a minute once I get this guy going again. Actually, I might be able to do it now. I think it was on King Mods, if I remember rightly. It's this little thing here. It's really cute. I love it, but it actually picks up 3 standard, or what do you call them, the bread pallets really easily. I like it, and obviously it does have quite a range of different colours in there. I quite like that blue. Looks really kind of cool. I love that. The small things amuse me. I'm sorry, guys. Just follow the arrows on the top of the pallet. Yeah. Black is output, red is... Oh, black is input, red is output. Okay. Yeah, I haven't even got it installed, to be honest. But yeah, that is very good to know. Yeah, I think that one, if I remember right, you've used it for, like, is it animal feed or something a lot? For transporting that and storing it. There we go. I still haven't gotten alone in my single player or multiplayer save games yet. Oh, you're doing so well. I wish I could say the same, Team Miller. Actually, I have had tons. As you can see, this is what in the first year, I pretty much took all these loans out and paid them off. I do pay them off, try and pay them off quickly. And then obviously at the minute I've gone for slightly bigger ones actually. And it's getting there. But I am aiming to try and get this cleared by the end of the year. Ooh. And I'm getting another achievement. Yay! No idea why. But what I'm actually going to do, guys, I am going to put this guy on a hired helper. I'm going to take a quick break to go grab a fresh drink, seasoned fur and stuff like that on Uncharted Puppies Edition. Yeah! And now we've gotten in long. You're just too good, that's the problem. I think you're a bit like Dave as well. He very rarely takes a loan out. Or leases anything, to be honest, so. But yeah, leasing and loans, yeah, perfectly fine in my opinion. Farmers do it in real life, do it then. Right then, like I said, I am going to take a quick break, guys. So let me change over to the Be Right Back screen. And obviously Viking is still in Discord if you want any questions answered. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Nothing.
Did you start animals? Yeah, I've actually got sheep, chickens, and ducks prom. But I will be back. I need to line that back up in just a couple of minutes, though. Alrighty, guys, I am back.
Welcome back, Billy.
Thank you very much. My daughter's going to bring me a coffee through. Just waiting on the kettle to finish boiling, so there we go. Righty then. So didn't miss anything. Good, he's still going. That's the main thing. But yeah. Now we're actually wondering, has anyone put down the police station out of interest?
I have.
And is it working okay?
I believe so.
You believe so? Okay.
Haven't checked it,
Ah,
to be honest.
yeah.
Let me go into my game and take a look.
Yeah, I think that's something else I need to work on, is getting some more community buildings either purchased or put down. So I was trying to find places to put them down, that's the thing. Right, let me take over because I want to save on some of my money at least. Right, so bring you back up. Centralize you. There we go, and we'll block you off. Yeah, those little displays really come in handy at times, just to make sure that those productions that are hidden are actually working the way they should be. But yeah, hopefully Mr. Dave will be able to go through and fix that, the church, so it actually works. Bit of a pain. I might actually throw it up on my test map and double check that after this stream. Or a test map. Ooh, I just had a thought. I wonder. Desktop. I want Canyon Crossing. Canyon Crossing. Where the heck's Canyon Crossing? There. That. Now, also, he had to revamp in the description. Did he have it in the top? That's probably why. It's obviously the top of the XML. It is a simple placeable, and I'm pretty sure Dave has his set up to be a production revamp. That may be what it is. One simple little thing. Ah. I might have to do a quick edit on that. Electricity. Support. Morale. Yeah, so that's fine, that's fine. Load and trigger, that's fine. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Is registering is basically just a simple placeable, like a decoration, as it were, rather than a production. Bless Mr. Winston. Actually, while I'm looking at that, desktop, police station. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? P. I'm pretty sure he set it up properly, but oh, when does that come under then? Deco Pack 2, I think. Or Community Pack 2 should be in it. That one. Police Station, yes. Yeah, so obviously his is set up as a production revamp, so that's probably what it is.
The police station is working.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all it is. I'll actually show you guys as well, quickly. So in the top of the XML, it should actually show this fs22 underscore a underscore production revamp dot revamp production point. Let me stop you there. And obviously in Winston's, bless his console, so maybe he just overlooked it. Church. I seen that a minute ago. WC church. I'm going blind. I seen it a minute ago. Church WC there. So yes, I want to keep you up a minute. So right here, it's got simple placeable. If you want, actually HC, if you're still out there, if you're any good at editing, go into, say, the police station, for example, and just basically copy that little bit there in the speech lines. Copy that and replace it. That simple placeholder there, and give that a try. That should actually get it running. So yeah, there we go. Because I noticed in the mod script it's actually calling for the revamp script, but for some reason, thank you, dear. I know that is rather warm. Yeah, give that a try if you're still out there. What you'll probably find is it will start taking electricity and outputting the morals and support and stuff. Morale, I should say. Morals.
English is hard sometimes, Billy.
Yeah, even for somebody who speaks it. Yes, yeah, ridiculous. Might have to mention that to Mr. Winston as well. The next time he's
So
around.
you figured the issue out?
I think that's what it is. Literally, the top line there. You just need to change it to the FS22 production revamp, and I'm pretty positive. I'm about 90% positive that that will just get it working.
Let me try that.
Replace that simple placeable. But yeah, Mr. Prom, I did start on some animals. The first one I went for was chickens. Mainly because they're simple and easy to get going. Obviously, was it last week I started adding in some sheep. Obviously, one thing I'm really after is the wool for fabric and stuff. That's the main reason for that. And then the other day, I actually put down a duck pen. Obviously, the one I'm using at the minute is giving me the duck eggs. But part of the duck pond pack that was released on the weekend actually has 4 different pens. 2 have fences, 2 have without. They're all basically the same. Apart from obviously the fences, but 2 will output duck eggs, 2 will output down. So if you don't want to do that big what the plucker or duck plucker, you can this just gives you an extra option. So yeah, just my experience, lambs eat so much, goats very few, the pigs are eating not so much, and cows eat a lot. I think in excess. Yeah, I have no idea how they've set up the feeding side of things. I think that's more of a Giants, maybe? Or even the enhanced animals script. But yeah, at some point I do want to get in, obviously, goats. That's probably going to be on the next thing, is some goats. If I can get some fish production going on, I'll try and add a few cats to my little house. After that, probably going into things like the cows. I tend to leave pigs till very, very last. But obviously I don't want them really around here, so I want to kind of spread it out a bit. I'm kind of thinking of maybe one of the farms set up just for the cows, and maybe one just for the pigs. I think the goats I wouldn't mind over here if I can get a decent size, nothing too big, but a decent capacity pen set up. Then obviously you got things for making you money, which is going to be like your deer, your dogs, your cats. Obviously they're all optional if you want to. All you have to do is literally raise them up and then you can sell them off, make a little bit of money. Obviously they will create puppies, kittens, baby versions basically, and yeah, go from there. I did find on the in-game mod hub, Giants put out a nice cow pen that I want to try out on here. The only thing I'm going to have to do first of all is maybe edit it a little bit because the capacity is quite small. Goats doesn't accept the tomatoes. I got a fee. Oh, let's see. Animals, others. Let's see. Also, you got your deer pen, which is coming out in the next update. Cool. Dogs, ducks, goats. Obviously, it's in the list. Yeah, definitely want a better pen than that for the goats, that's for sure. I wonder. Now, obviously, the tomatoes are on a pallet, whereas the rest of it is bales, really, isn't it, or loose. I wonder if that's the issue. It doesn't have a bale trigger in there. That might need to be updated. But obviously, if you were to do the little placeable animal food processor, it should add it into the feed that way. 40 cows eat 20,000 kilos per day of TMR. Blimey, that is a lot. Yes, I'm going to show you the cow pen in a minute that I found. It's actually a pack of two. It's a cow. There's a cow pen, and I think it's a horse stable or horse pen. The horse pen actually is quite nice as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd actually use the horse one. That's another one that's just a money maker. That's pen. I don't know if anybody else has done horses in 22, but I personally find them to be another waste of time. I tried it on Wolf Creek actually. I had horses, I raised them up, I sort of kept them fed up and everything, and I literally didn't seem to make any money when I sold them. Actually, to be honest, I took a loss. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that cow pen that I found. Animals, cows. Yeah, that one there. It's not easy to see, but I like it. It's got a almost opened up look to the actual pen itself. Oh, pen around. There we go. Yeah, but at some point I do want to get this place down as well. It's not too big, but yeah, capacity-wise, it only holds 45 cows. I think it definitely could hold a lot more than that. Hey, Master Farmer, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, I'm going to be editing this. I need to get rid of this friggin' mod. This is, yeah, ridiculous. I keep forgetting it's even in here. I was checking that for somebody, and yeah, I got it to work fine. Actually, it's no bad pen as well, to be honest. Actually, is that which one's that? Oh, that's just the large cow pen in it, so that's going to be that one with the feeder. Oh, yeah, it's basically that without the feeder. Yeah, that one. With a bigger capacity. 500 on each of them. I need to get rid of that mod. Has there been a update to PV Canyon Crossing since the weekend? Not that I'm aware of, J Booth. Not that I'm aware of. I do know that there is a handful of mods that will be either updated or added. We're just waiting on Dave to obviously upload them to the mod folder switcher and get that released to you guys. Maybe he'll do it later today, who knows? We shall see. Farmer Marks, how you doing, buddy? Doing good. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good there, thanks, Master Farmer. And welcome in, by the way. It says you're a first-time chatter, but I'm pretty sure you've been here before, which is really weird. But yeah, actually, where is that horse one? Thinking about it, I wonder if that was the same pack. Yeah, it is. It's a nice, actually, looking stable. I like that. That is really cool. This is actually one from Giant, so it's a nice, easy edit if anybody wanted to, and then put that out. I like that. It might even push me into having horses again. There we go. Cool. Right, let's see if I can actually have a coffee this time without spilling it down my new t-shirt. There we go. And we run out again. Right, let's go top this up. Turn you off for now. All good. Just wanted to know if it's okay to think. Yeah, just give it a try anytime before you load up. You never know. There may be something there. I haven't done it myself personally, and no, Dave hasn't mentioned anything. So I know he's been kind of busy with the Hunter Call of the Wild and 7 Days to Die to even be bothered. I think, which is really kind of disturbing if you ask me, guys. I think he needs to start focusing on his map a little bit more, just to get these updates done for you guys. Also, I know the last couple of weeks he's been putting out a few updates throughout the week, so yeah. If you're unsure, just run the sync and see if you get anything updated. Here we go. Right, this is the first time in your stream that I... Okay. Okay, well, welcome in, Master Farmer TV. Yes, I think the next thing I'm... Oh, what was I going to do next? I can't remember. I can't remember. I know there's something I mentioned about the other day that I was going to be focusing on next. Oh, dang it. Don't you hate when that happens? Did you have duck feed food already? I don't think he's put out the update for it yet, but it's an easy one to fix there, Surf, and if you wanted to do it, all you have to do is go into the mod description, and where it's calling for the field types XML, just delete that from the mod description, you'll be fine. It's just basically an error, because it's not finding the HUD image for the duck food. Obviously, now guys, if you were not aware, duck food has actually been removed. You can actually use the chicken feed for your ducks because it's exactly the same product. Actually, at the minute I'm still using loose products, so it doesn't even bother me. Last thing I think is food production. The small one is producing too much food and okay. Oh yeah, you're on about the conveyor belts, I take it. The rollers. Thinking about it, yeah. Yeah, those conveyor belts are definitely one to think about. Okay, just remove the duck food entry. And yeah, you could do that as well. But yeah, to be honest, all those products are actually being registered already in the map itself and with Cargill, so technically it's not even needed in there, so yeah. That's all I literally did. I think it was a Saturday night or Sunday morning. Just deleted that field type XML from the mod script, and yeah, perfectly fine for me. Come on, come on, get up this hill. There we go. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. It's a bit slow, but it's getting there. Hey, yeah, I think, and so yeah, I'm kind of up in arms on what I want to do regarding the animals. Obviously, I'm happy with putting them in with like some wheat into them or grass or whatever to get them going. Excuse me. Obviously, I know when I get to the pig side, I think that is one that I am going to be using either like Cargill or the small feed production. But obviously cows, obviously I can use a TMR mixer, that's perfectly fine, I can do that. I've done that pretty much all through 22 so far and I haven't had an issue. So yeah, but it's always that pig feed that always gets me. But all the other animals, they're kind of really easy. Just throw in some wheat, barley, or whatever they need. Or some grass, hay, straw, whatever it is. But yeah. I definitely have no plans at the minute anyway on putting down any of those animal productions. But even obviously when I get to the pigs, that is probably going to need a heck of a lot. Because I know when I was on Wolf Creek doing the pigs, I needed a lot just for a couple of small pens. So at that point I would expect to have at least Cargill up and running, which I think would be a good idea. So yes. Obviously the nice thing with your pigs as well, when you get to the right age, you can put them over to the truffle hunting as well, and they can spend a few years over there finding truffles for you. Mr. Grinwald, how are you doing? The way it limes bugs me so much. In 19 it also happened. What is good? So that is actually spot spraying, Grinwald. And it actually allows you to use less lime. Same with fertilizer actually. Lime and fertilizer will actually do the same thing, where it misses those little spots. But yeah, it's precision farming is basically causing that. And obviously with precision farming, it's spot sprays to help basically use less. And yeah, but still get this same amount of yield and such from it. Yeah, I was exactly the same in 19 especially, when I was using precision farming on, I think it was Uncharted. It always had that, it was like a line and then it missed a bit, then the line, then it missed a bit. That really bugged me. I know one thing you could do in the F1 menu, if you hit the the little, oh heck, what's it called? Comma, I think it is. I think that's what you call it. If you hit that, it will actually deactivate. If you look at the top of the menu there, it says deactivate automatic application rate, and that'll actually just fill it completely like it would be if you didn't have precision farming in. So I'll catch you all later. I'll catch you some. All right there, Jay Booth. Happy hunting. I take it you're still on the new map then. But yeah, like I said, if you hit the little comma, I can never remember what it's actually pronounced as. You can actually have it keep going. As you can see, it's not turning itself off at any point, but you still get, the only problem is you don't get the same application rate. If you look in my little round, what do you call it, mini map, you can actually see that it's actually missed the application rate properly there, and obviously at the end will be the same here. Is it here? Oh well. So that's one thing to bear in mind. You may want to just suck it up, kind of thing. So around about there, isn't it? So if I come through there, that's going to then apply the correct amount that I need. Just like so. But yes, I totally get the OCD thing and it missing those little bits. Obviously I want to see a full field of white when I've done liming. But yeah, it is what it is.
That would be nice.
But at the end of the day, it is actually applying the exact amount that you need. You don't, after you've done it, you don't have to then go through again and again and again if you don't want to. So it is something that's not too bad. And obviously you are saving on your lime. If I was to do this, I would have had to refill about a dozen times already if I didn't have that precision farming. Same with the fertilizing. It will use less, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, new save started over. Ah, okay. But yeah, obviously, guys, as well, Mr. Dashnet will be going live later on. Just a reminder, it's server play for Wednesday. So I believe he'll be doing some 7 Days to Die with a few of the guys over there. And I believe they're on to Horde Night as well. And now I don't know if any of them have been on today onto the server, but yeah, I think they were trying to save it for the stream tonight. So make sure to check out Mr. Dashnet later on. Obviously, he goes live around about 7 PM his time. So, what's that? Let's see. Coming up 8, so that's 4. So, just under 5 hours' time. He should be live. Obviously, yesterday we were doing a bit of Hunter Call of the Wild. And also, he was on the new map, hunting for kangaroos and crocodiles and such. But yeah, it sounds like there's a few bugs there they still need to fix. But that's the same with any new game and new map, there's always going to be those few bugs. I know Mr. J Booth there was having some issues with sounds, I think it was yesterday. Constantly being on. But it's all good. Yeah, obviously Satisfactory, I know had I think it was an update the other day. That's another game I've got. I do like Satisfactory, guys, but for some reason at the minute I just cannot get my head into playing it. I've loaded it up a couple of times since update 8 came, just to show my wife the blue flightless bird on there. But yeah, actually doing any gameplay itself, no. Haven't been interested. So apart from Farm Sim, guys, out of interest, what other games do you play? So obviously we know that Mr. J Booth is doing a bit of Hunter Call of the Wild. Obviously I've got this as my main, and every now and again I'll go over to Satisfactory. But yeah. I don't know, do you like playing ATS, ETS? City Skylines, obviously got City Skylines 2 coming out near the end of the year, so there's something for you guys to look forward to. I know T Miller plays City Skylines, and I think he's definitely got that on pre-order already. For the second one, yes. Do you play any other games, Viking?
Farm Sim.
Just Farm Sim?
Yeah. Plain and simple.
Yep, it is. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you played like ETS or anything like that.
I have tried it, but can't concentrate about it.
Yes. Mr. Surfing Cowboy, your main is FS. Understandable, it's great. And sometimes Power War Sim. Interesting. I've seen it. Whether I'd play it is another question. I really don't know. I think it was Boomhauer. I've seen some of his streams doing that Power War Simulator, and I think, yeah, okay. Enough. Didn't they do that? Is it Power War Sim 2 now or something? It's a nice, relaxing game. Yeah, but I find the same for Farm Sim. It's relaxing for me. Obviously, the modding side of things and the thousands and thousands of questions are stressful, but yeah. Oh.
Do you
Nothing
really
of.
think so,
Okay.
Billy?
Yeah. Yes. And oh, I don't know. I think where it is, obviously, it's a new map come out. Obviously, everyone's asking the same questions over and over again. It is like, well, can't you just scroll through the feed and see if it's already been asked type thing? can almost need like a what you call it, a document or something set up that has like regularly asked questions, like a Q&A thing type thing.
Yeah, that would be
So
nice.
yeah, send them over. There you go. Go read this document. It's all been discussed thousands of times before. Oh, but yes,
Yeah, but then they A, not understand it, or B, don't want to read.
true. Yeah, also it is probably easiest when someone is streaming to ask these questions. But I think even Dave, in my opinion, is getting kind of annoyed at some of these questions that are being repeatedly asked over and over again.
Yep,
Uh,
ain't we all?
yeah, I find Power Wash Sim a bit more relaxing than FS, really. You're recording a message. Or recorded message. Yeah. Yes, I do like my farm sim. That is definitely got to be my top game, and then I'll go to Satisfactory as my backup if I ever get sick of it. But at the minute, I have just got so much um, to do in this game. I can't see me getting burnt out on it anytime soon. Obviously, I do have a few ideas for mods still to come through. Like a decent gulp pen. I think that's going to be one of the next things to sort out. Obviously, Dave set up a lot of these originally just using the base game animal pens, but I think it would be nice just to have something unique, should we say, for this map, or something set up for this map, I suppose is a better way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't got the creativity as some people, so I'm just sort of keeping them nice and simple. Hence the duck pen, where it's just a square with a bit of fence and. Uh, Also, my most adventurous was the deer pen, where actually I had an idea when I first thought of it, is having like a high fence where you could actually enter it, which is what I've set up. Obviously, have some no hunting signs going around. That was the kicker. I had to have that in there because obviously with Hunter Call of the Wild coming out, that is yeah okay a must. Obviously, one thing I did try the other day is using like some spruces. I wanted, like I say, about a dozen spruce trees, stage twos, in there. But the issue is when I brought it into game, the spruces weren't showing. From what I understand now, I would have had to have gone through, removed collisions, added other things in. It's like a bit of work to get them to work. So obviously Dave also mentioned about, well, deers like apples. Oh, bang in, there you go. So yeah, I used the apple trees from the orchards as a visual. So, and in my opinion, I think it's turned out even better actually with those apples. So cool. I love the map. Still no way to wait. Still no way to burn out on it yet. Long time. Yeah. And actually, just out of interest, one thing I very rarely look at is my hours and such.
Really, when you have
Yep,
the
I seen
time
it.
for it, good.
Yeah, you got about 45 minutes roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually do 3 hours and then it's back to real life. But yeah, I will let you know. So far, I'm over the 200 time period. Cool, 218 hours on the map already. Sweet. Bales produced 590. 664 trees cut down. Seems a bit small. But 56 missions. I want to get that up to the 100 so I can complete the challenge. I'm sure it says there's a 100 mission complete challenge. I think I'm definitely going to do it on here. Sorry. I had some chicken nuggety things earlier and they're sort of coming back on me now. But yes. That is a lot of fur and stuff to be used. Oh, dang. On to Day 3, I got 130. I need to get those bales sold as well at some point. 406. Did I say 463 pallets in storage, 130 bales. Wow. Friggin' egg. That is mad. Right, so that's that done. So hopefully, if he's not finished already, my little hired helper can come across, which he is. So that's good. Let's come over here, make sure that should be all flax. Which it is. Did I do 2 fields of flax? That's fine, not a problem. Flax, yeah. 2 fields of flax, so that is both of them are going to be going to the spinnery. So that's good. I don't need to worry about doing cotton then, this time around. Obviously I do need to keep one of these 2 fields for tobacco. And I'm thinking that 52 I think will be fine for the tobacco. Right, so what other crops do I need? Oh, that is a freaking good question. I'll have to see what I've got left in the silo. I'm actually almost thinking at least one of these fields to plant is like alfalfa or something like that. Because obviously one of the big issues is at some point I am going to be getting into doing cows, so I'm going to need hay and straw. Obviously I could do clover, alfalfa. Obviously I don't want to really do just more grass, do I? So I've got a big bucket right there of grass as well. Let's have a little look. What do I have in here? See, what I could do is this field 45. I could actually put a decent grass type in there. So I've got canola, I've got a little bit of corn left. I'm not really worried about any more of that for now. I do have some flax actually in there for some reason. I've got plenty of oats, soybeans, tons of straw still. Sunflower and wheat. Oh, I'm gonna need a grain of something. Well, I can use the oats to make the bread, that's fine. I definitely want to keep some of the wheat at least for my chickens. So at the minute I'm thinking I might do a cornfield just to keep Mr. Viking Streaming happy. Hey, not so grumpy dwarf, how you doing? You're thinking of merging fields 10 and 11 together to make one massive field of alfalfa. That's an idea. Yeah, because you are down here, aren't you? So yeah, you could. And obviously, depending on how much land, you could even expand it out a bit to make one really long field along there if you wanted to. Yes. And actually, well, let's have a look. Is it that one? Nope, I want that one. So flax is in. I've got carrot, lavender. Where are you? Alfalfa could definitely go in now, couldn't it? I've got no need for any onions yet. And then it's the trees. Okay. Yeah. So oh no. Yeah, so alfalfa or clover. Which one actually gets a better yield out of interest? Does anybody know? Alfalfa or the clover? Or are they about the same? And how's it going there, Mr. Cope?
I believe it's alfalfa
It is
getting the
alfalfa?
better yield.
Okay. Yeah, you can ask any time there, Mr. Cope, questions. And that's anyone. You do not have to ask. Just put your questions in. It makes life so much quicker and easier. The fans on the grain silo from 19 still spin? No, not the one that I've put out recently. If it was set up as a distribution silo, then yes, it will. But I haven't got around to doing that yet. I could look at how to do it with a rotator script, as it's now in here. That might work. In essence, set it up the same sort of way that Dave did with the conveyor belts. Now there's an idea. Why didn't I think of that before? Alfalfa and put bees in. Actually, I do have some beehives down already there, farming trucker as well. So yes, I think we'll go with a bit of alfalfa down the bottom. I will set this guy up doing some. I don't think I can do corn yet, can I? Corn. When does corn go in? Next month. Okay, so yeah, what I could do is next month the corn and the tobacco. That is fine. Let me jump back up here. And yeah, so corn and the tobacco can go on those. I'll put alfalfa in 45. So bargain. Ba 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 bam. There we go. The first one you sent me did. Yeah. Oh, see that silo I originally sent you, Cope. It's basically a production storage. Oh, hello. That's why those fans are working. But yeah, I am hoping to try and get them working again. But I'll have to have a look at how GTX and Dave set up the rotation scripty thing. B. Seem to have missed a few bits. Let's just grab these, hopefully. Yep. Yeah, the only thing I'm not sure is whether it has to be set up as a production as well for those no, because obviously Dave changed it. It was originally a script production for the conveyors. Yeah, I'll have to look at those actually, see how that's set up. I'm pretty sure it should be an easy fix to get those fans rotating again. It's either that or wait for me to put out the distribution version. I've got most of the crops and stuff in there, so there we go. Oh, there's another bit there. See, this is something I really wish the AI would work on a little bit better, so it doesn't miss these little bits.
That would be nice.
Yes, there we go. But yeah, I think one thing as well, I need to find some bigger cedars and planters. Obviously, there is the Borgo stuff as well, which I think I may at some point have to start getting in. But yeah, I really want to try that Fendt Tri-6 out. Right. Okay. So he sorted. Have a sort. Oh, I haven't actually had a look at it regarding the lights. Either. But yeah, next time I update my silo, I will look at reducing the amount of light coming off of it, and I'll try and add in a second version where it distributes rather than just stores. Right, so we want some alfalfa, don't we? And I'm hoping this thing will do it. There's clover. Alfalfa. I mean, is alfalfa the purple? That looks more like lavender to me.
Alfalfa have purple flowers, yeah?
Do they? Okay. I've never actually seen an alfalfa. go. Right. Actually, one thing I do need to do is actually fertilise that field, because this thing does not do fertilising. So hence why I want to upgrade some of the equipment. But yeah, it is on my list, Mr. Culp and Mr. Not So Grumpy. So don't worry about it. It will come. Actually, to be honest, I suppose I could do that this week. And see if I can get it sorted by Friday for you guys. And obviously the simple fix for obviously the distribution thing, that issue I was having, is just to change it to a non-revamp thing. So yeah. Yeah, I had 6 of the Tri-6s on NBC acres, and I tried to bring to it. Okay, yeah, that actually I would have thought that'd be quite easy. Actually, it's just a decal configuration. In the same way, these trailers are set up. Is it this one? Yeah. So, yeah, so the design, so how it's set up like this, just change it so it says a number, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and add it to the tractor. It'd be exactly the same way. Uh-oh, it started to rain. That's another thing I think Giants should add in, is when the rain comes, that actually makes the ground a little bit more soggy. Right, let's come back into here, because that's just deactivated that. You should be the planter. Yep. Come on, center, there. That is not right. There we go. That must be off of the other one. This is a cedar, that's why. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yes. Another thing as well for anyone putting alfalfa or clover or even grass into a field. Now, obviously, one thing with precision farming, when you start mowing the grass, oops, didn't mean to do that. It's going to slightly affect your score at times. What you could try and do before you start planting is just go around and give it a little bit of a border around the actual field. I know a few people have done that already, and it just sort of separates the actual field itself from the map grass, as it were. Right, just got to do a quick. Actually, should be okay with that. Actually, so you can go back on the hard helper. Right. So it never rains in South Carolina. Just for surfing. I haven't got back to redo it. Yeah. Yes. Right. I do need to do some fertilizing before it gets bogged down. Ha ha ha. Actually, I still need to finish that little road off there, painting it wise. But yeah, I'm thinking of now maybe adding in the second road coming straight through here. Obviously, at some point, I do want to get into the burnt forest to get the graveyard and all that place down. Actually, that was something else Dave mentioned about, is a seasonal decoration pack as well. Not sure how that's going to work, but it's going to be an interesting one to do. I'm kind of hoping he's going to do it, because I'm trying to put it off, in all honesty. Oh, this beginning. Yeah, so one thing Dave mentioned maybe a week or two ago is doing a decoration pack where you have like seasonal objects showing. So say for instance the haunted house from PV County. You want that to be in there, but have it so possibly that each season has different decorations on it. That'd be kind of an interesting one. Have like the haunted trees back, or there's monster trees, whatever you want to call them. Have them brought back as a deco. Yeah, not sure how they're gonna work, but it is worth a try. Yes, I'm gonna fertilize first, and then I'll roll. Now I do like to actually roll as well, guys, so I do apologize for that one. But yeah, I think one of the next things I really need to get into is obviously the fishing side of things. That is definitely a must, and I don't know why I came down this way, but I do need to get some more fertilizer at some point. Actually, I should really get some fert maker placed down. That would make life so much easier. Actually, how are my little boys and girls doing? They're 37%, 0 on the health, still got plenty of food. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking my next project will be either sheep or duck pen. Kind of marry in with what I've currently done, but I'm definitely thinking of adding a shed of some kind onto it. Not sure what though, that's the big thing. What now, do I use just like a base game one? The thing is, I really liked some of the pens from 19, from 19. And I know on my Silver Run map, save game, I actually had a pack that had some of those in there. Might look at actually converting some of those buildings, but making them like a bigger paddock type thing. I think that would work quite well actually. Right, so anyway, for now I need fert spreader there. And we will rotate you, centralize. That's around about there. Just bring that across the other way, there we go. Now obviously this thing does do the spot spraying, which is kinda cool. I'm going to turn on the crop sensor though, so Alt B. Go forward, turn you on. So yeah, this is another thing. If you suffer from constantly having the proper textures on fields, don't look, because it's going to be stripy. It's almost like a Dennis the Menace jumper coming through there. But the nice thing is, one application and that's it, done for the rest of the year.
Oh, my OCD screams at me right now.
Another thing as well, you can deactivate it, but obviously you're going to have to go through multiple times to get the fert level right. So yeah, I'm actually getting used to it. It does do my head in. I wish it looked like how it should do, but yeah, it's getting there. It's doing the job. That's the main thing.
Hey, not so grumpy, and hey, KW.
Hey KW, how's it going, buddy? Right. Oh, have you been doing any of the Hunter Call of the Wild there, KW? For some reason I just got that in my head. And I just realised we did not do a shout out for Mr. Not So Grumpy Dwarf. Make sure to check him out, guys. Can you bring back the chicken coop from 19? I probably could actually. I will probably look at maybe doing an entire pack then, if you guys are interested. Have the old cow pen back, the pig, the sheep, the chickens. I'll probably leave the horses where they are. But yeah. But yeah, I think the sheep pen was one that I definitely liked. I really liked actually the cow pen from then as well. So yeah, I will definitely do that. Definitely. See, now you piquing my interest. Which was, let's see, douche, 19, data, placeables, animal husbandry, there's you, chicken, chickens, which is chickens. Oh yeah, big white fence jobby ones. I almost forgot about them. I wonder if I can get those gate. I hope those gates are still animated on that. Thinking about it, base game ones. The big one. Yep, I will give that definitely a go. I like the design there. Yeah, what design? Did I miss something? uh, yeah. So for anyone interested and kind of unsure, so yeah, this is the sort of guys we're thinking of. Obviously, there's the large chicken pen from 19. So that could be coming back as in the pack. I'll probably do obviously all the different animal ones actually, because yeah, they're kind of cool. Obviously, you might recognise that chicken coop. It's very similar to the one that I've got in my pen at the minute. But yeah, this is the one I liked, the cow pen from 19. That was really kind of cool. And obviously, you had the smaller version. And then you got the horse. I wasn't really a big fan of the horses, so I'll probably leave them out. The pigsty, that's a nice one actually. I like the pigsties there. I may do them, add them in, but yeah, it was the sheep one that I liked, where you had like the fenced off area here where you load it in. That was kind of cool. Yes, but yeah, I'll have a look at that, and yeah, a big barn type. Well, that was the base game one, so I'm not sure which ones you were on about there. But yeah. Oh, there was a big barn type? It's not base. Oh, was that on County Farmer Marks? I think I know what you're on about now. Yeah. Chicken, chicken, chicken. Chicken enclosure. Because I know he had. Was it this one? That one. Looks like the greenhouse almost. I might look into doing that one as well. Throw that in. Yes. I've seen. Yeah, that one. Okay. I'll add it to the list and I'll let you know. Right. Let's switch screens. There we go. Coolio. Yeah, we'll have a little look into that and who knows. Yeah, obviously with that particular one, it was. I think it was just one that was edited and added to the map. Dave didn't actually do that one. And I don't know if it's been brought over to 22 yet. Is there a way to calculate how big a pen food storage should be. I have a sheep pen with 250 sheep at the minute and a capacity of 100k of food. But they eat it so fast, I'm thinking, oh, probably need a bigger capacity. Yeah, well, to be honest, you could actually edit the pen to hold any amount of food. FS22 chicken pen. I'm just curious to see. Obviously, got the one that Dave's using at the minute. What's that one there? I don't think that is it. I think they're all 19s actually. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's brought it over yet. FS19. FS19. Dang. Ooh. I know Alien Jim, he did some nice chicken pen or animal pens as well, didn't he? I know back in FS17 on Mercury Farms, he had them as buildables, which was really kind of cool. But obviously, it was built into the map on those, so yeah. Well, that's quite a nice one. Sorry, I'm just having a look at chicken pens here. LS Portal consent. See, now that's quite a nice one actually. You got your little chicken coop house there. Show off. Yeah, I'll have to have a look into that one for you there. I might even just do it just for you there, Farmer Marks. And David G coming in with a stretch and a hydrate. How you doing, David G? Oh, there we go. There's a stretch. Thank you very much. And hydrate coming in. Thank you. Not too bad yourself? I'm doing pretty good, thank you very much. Got right about 20 more minutes on the stream, and then we'll probably be going over and catching a bit of Viking streaming. So we're carrying on with the Canyon Crossing streamathon type thing today. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, because I've got a feeling that was actually done by somebody else, that pen. But yeah, if I can get it brought over and working for you, I shall do. And I'll come back to Grinwald's comment again in a second. Let me just get this turned around. I want to check something. I'm pretty sure. Let me come over to here so you can see what I'm looking at. So here's the deer pen that I've done. If it's set up the same way, Grinwald, if you go into the XML, scroll down through, down here, there should be a section for the food, and obviously it's got a capacity there. Just change it to whatever capacity you want, and you should be good. So if you're finding that it's going through 100k within a couple of days, maybe up it a little bit, or maybe double it or something like that, and then just try and find a good equal where you're not constantly going back and forth all the time. So that is an idea. And obviously anybody that's good at editing, you can more than go through up the capacity of any of your pens that you've got, even the capacities, the animals, you name it. I haven't quite got through to doing how the cows are set up, whether they need individual capacities for each of the products, or just have it as TMR. That's the thing. That's going to be a fun one to figure out. I would imagine it would be one for the TMR, because obviously, oh, I won't use a robot. If I was a robot, it would need a capacity for each. But then you'd need a capacity for the straw with a fill plane. Oh my god, what was I thinking? But it's good practice actually. Obviously I've done a lot of productions. I know how to get them set up for you guys. I can do the buildables, that's easy enough. Even Mr. Culp, if he still wanted to do a buildable, all he literally has to do is dissect one of the productions and he can get a building buildable. Even having a look at the bridges, or go over to Green Thumb Farmer's Trello, he's actually got a shed set up that's buildable, that can be used on the map. It is very, very simple. Yes. Obviously at the minute, a lot of things I've been doing is obviously the animal pen, so yeah, might as well carry on the tradition, don't I? What am I going to be doing next time, hey? Making a map? Oh, no. I'm not even going to joke with that. I really ain't going to joke with that.
Why not, Billy?
Well, to be honest, I have thought about it, but I just... no. No.
There's no time for it, then.
Well, that's the big problem. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my real life, yeah. Even, actually, I'm kind of shocked that I've even got over 200 hours so far. Oh, on here, but yeah. A lot of the time recently has been more the modding side of things, getting the factory set up for you guys, obviously the animal pens recently. And yeah. I think at the minute I just want to really play. Really do. Should check up my other dude, how's he doing? Still going okay, so about halfway full, okay. But yes. Maybe one day, I don't know.
Be right back.
Alrighty. See, now the thing is, do I go for recreating an old map? Or do I just go henning and create a complete new type of map? The thing is, obviously, been playing Dave's map so much, it'd probably end up looking a lot like that. Maybe with a bit of a UK twist to it, I don't know. But yeah, good luck NBC as well. I'm happy with this map. I definitely have no quarrels playing this map. So yeah, because obviously NBC did mention that he was thinking of doing another map, but obviously when Dave released this one, it kind of went right out the window. That did. He loves it. The only thing different I'd probably do if I did do a map myself. One thing I would look at doing is adding in a train system. I think that is one thing that is missing on this map, just for getting the pallets around, maybe having it set up so it uses or utilizes like the 82 Studio TypeScript, where you can actually auto-load the pallets into a container, for example, or like as panel modding's done. Something similar to that I think would be kind of a nice idea, just to transport. One idea I did have is like with the lumberyard, is have it properly set up as like a good old-fashioned American lumberyard with the train system coming through, something like that. Would you design a more EU style map? I don't know. But yeah, I do like Dave's maps, that is for sure. I know a lot of you guys do as well. So that influence from Dave is definitely going to be there, that is for sure. And do I not? I thought I had this set up for the rollers. More rollers, right where my mouse is. What the? Right, and home. There we go. Let's line that up. But yeah, let's bring you back across again so I can see what's going on that screen. There we go. Right, yeah, have you tried the new container mod with it all? Yep, I have it on here. I was actually shown off kind of on Friday. It's a really nice mod, to be honest. Obviously, one thing I was having a few issues with is getting it to actually move. But yeah, the other on Monday's stream, and I'm going to say this again, obviously with the container pack that came out on Friday from Hispano Modding, and if you're using any of the TLX flatbed pack stuff, where it autoloads the pallets, does it work with all the productions? No. Simply, how it's set up right now, no. But, for anyone who's good at editing, if you actually go in to the modder script first of all, look for a line that has the fill types in it. It's basically looking for a fill types XML. First of all, delete that from the mod script. Then secondly, what you're going to need to do is go into each of the XMLs and change the fill type categories from what it is set up at the minute to, if you put in product, PRODUCT in capital letters, in each of those XML sections, and save it, it removes all warnings, all errors, and actually works on this map. It'll pick up every type of pallet. It does work. I actually reached out to Hispano Modding the other day and mentioned about that to him. Obviously, he said that he's tested it. It works perfectly fine for him. Whether the containers get changed, I do not know. But he is going to speak to 82 Studios about it. About maybe getting the scripting updated so it reads only the product. Because if you actually go on the in-game mod hub or download any production from any third-party site as well, every pallet is being recorded or put into that product category. So by setting up the containers in the 82 Studio script in general, because that's what it's using, to read from the category rather than the way they've set it up, it makes things so much easier. So yeah, who knows, there might be a bit of alpaca influence coming to the TLX 82 Studios auto script. Probably not.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Mr. Viking. But yeah, just give that a try, David G, as well, or anybody else who's interested. Just go into that mod script, remove the fill types XML that it's calling for, and then just go into each of those XMLs, change it from how it's fill type category, whatever, LOC, blah blah blah, to product. And that's all you need. No spaces. Just do product, and that's it. But yeah, I do like the side loading containers actually. I want to use them a little bit more. Obviously, at the minute it's money. I do know that Surfing, I think it was, or T-Miller mentioned the other day. I think it was Surfing actually. Mentioned the other day that Loki is looking to add those containers in on the autoload script as well, so they can go onto any trailer, not just those ones, which is kind of cool. So yeah, very very cool. Oh, so
Just a little heads up, Billy.
yep,
4.5 minutes.
already. Holy cripes! Time is getting on. Detour.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's the Mod Hub add-on, dude. Gotcha. Thank you, Surfing. And thank you for correcting me. Cool. Okay, but I've still got a few more minutes on mine. How rude.
Yeah. Yeah. I am rude.
He is very, very rude. Well, you're gonna have to wait for us to come over. Ha ha ha.
I have all the time in the world.
So what are you planning on doing today, Viking?
A bit of harvesting.
A bit of harvesting. Cool.
And
Oh, there's that freaking woman.
picking up straw.
Lydia Violet. That's who she is. Sorry, I've just seen on... I just loaded up Twitch there for a minute. Now, on Facebook and on YouTube, I keep seeing this woman. And it's somebody in chat say something, and it makes her really think hard, and I've just found out who the heck she is. She's a Twitch streamer. Dang it. Just chatting. Okay. And I want to know... And Neil Murphy, how you doing, buddy? Thank you very much for that follow. Did you follow me on YouTube earlier, by the way? I want to know what is with this thing that keeps popping up on Twitch streams. Don't know if you guys got it with me, but I'll bring up Viking streaming in just a sec to show you. Desktop. So I've noticed this on a few different streams. You get this popping up first of all. Are all you guys getting this as well since the last couple of days? It's really...
What is that?
So I don't know. It's something I think.
Oh,
Twitch have
yeah,
added something.
yeah. Twitch added in some categories, and
okay.
Unfortunately, I do vape, and so I had to pick a category, and unfortunately, Twitch is putting vaping together with intake of tobacco and drugs.
What a pile of baloney! My goodness.
So, just to let me clarify, I'm only vaping. I do not do drugs or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is just some crazy BS that Twitch started on, and I do not agree with them, not at all. But we have to do it.
Oh, it's a pain. Well, I don't know if I get it for me, because obviously I do vape. I will say that. Yep. I gave up perhaps smoking about 2 years ago. Went over to vaping. Yep, cool. Way. Loved it. Ever since. I don't drink, so yeah, that's my joy in life. So yeah. So Twitch, if you're listening, yes, you can put that up if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, but
anyway, so
it is just crazy because I think it's a bit too much.
Exactly, Neil. Yeah, vaping is not actual drug. The nicotine that's in some of the juices is, though. That's a big issue a lot of people have.
And yeah, I have nicotine in my vape juice.
So do I. I have, was it 100ml bottle, in that it's a tiny little amount, maybe 10ml. Is it 10ml? 100? Yeah, it's like a literally tiny amount of nicotine in there.
If you take a 100ml bottle, I have 3 milligrams of nicotine in.
Yeah, it's just literally just take it, for me personally, it just takes the edge off, and I think it makes me think a little bit clearer. It's really weird. Maybe I should start doing some more CBD oil or something like that. I don't know. But yeah. But I've been doing it for 2 years and definitely will not be going back to smoking, that's for sure. And I actually met a guy who lives in, I think it's 2 tire blocks to the side of his. I've known him for a while. He smokes about 30-40 cigarettes a day. It's like, what crap. A few months ago he actually went to the doctors and he had a infection in his lungs. And the doctor told him to either cut down on smoking or change and go over to vaping. So there is something in vaping that is a lot better than smoking, that's for sure. And obviously you're not getting the tar, and that's what is the big issue when you're smoking. You get that tar
In
build-up. So yeah, it's like,
in a cigarette, there are 4,900 different chemicals.
yeah, depending on the cigarette
In
as well. B&H is the
in
worst.
vape juice, you have 4.
Exactly.
So
So Neil, just a quick one. Update 5 is out. If you actually go, oh, actually, hang on. Let me grab it for you. Give me the link. Come on, give me the friggin' link, will you? Stop being a pain there. Chat. Ooh. By update 5. Let me copy all of that. Come on, copy all of that. So, oh, thank you very much for that subscription, Mr. Neil. Right, so there is update 5. Obviously, you can get it through the mod folder switcher if you're doing it that way. Obviously, that is the separate link if you don't have the mod folder switcher. There's also the patch notes there as well. But yeah, thank you very, very much. And obviously, if you've got any issues, you're more than welcome to ask them at any time, whether it's on YouTube, on my channel, here, or any of the streams. Obviously, in a little while, we are going to go over and see what Mr. Viking's streaming. He's also a member of the SGA, and he's been playing and testing the map from Mr. Dajnet as well. Obviously, Dajnet himself will be streaming later on, guys. So yeah. You also have to set that if you use foul language. Well, I'm PG. I have always stated I'm PG, so I kind of hope I'm pretty good. So, is there still an SGA Discord? There is! Exclamation mark Discord. We'll give you the link. Actually, here you go. I'll do it for you. If you're wondering, there is also the new website kind of thing. It's on Trello. There's that, and there's the Discord. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, so that should take you to the SGA Discord. You've also got the SGA mods, which is now over on the Trello, which is great. Yeah, it is. For anyone who wasn't aware, obviously, it was costing Dave a heck of a lot each month just for using the website. Hence why we ended up, or he ended up deciding to shut it down and moving over to Trello. Obviously, if you do have any issues, Viking Streaming does have a YouTube video on how to use the Trello website, so check him out. So it's Viking Streaming 2021 over on YouTube, I believe. Is the SGA Discord open to all or just supporters? Anyone. Obviously, it's primarily for farm sim, but they do a lot of different games within the SGA, and there's multiple channels set up over there. So if you want to share any game footage or anything like that, you're more than welcome to join. Just when you go into the lobby, let me put this on hard helper and I'll just show you just before going over to Viking. So let's go to desktop. Let me load it up through Google a sec, or my browser. So, obviously, when you come to the SGA Discord, obviously you probably won't see any of this to start off with. As you can see, there's a few new people here joined in. Go to the rules and information. Have a little read of this. It's just standard Discord policy to have something in there. Obviously, while you're part of the group, please no disrespecting anybody, whether they're it's Dave, myself, any of the streamers, anybody else in Discord, because obviously we want to be treated how you want to be treated at the end of the day. If you want to be treated like shit, sorry, I had to say it, you'll get treated like crap. But yeah, obviously I like to respect people out there, so yep, that's how I treat everybody, because obviously I want to be respected as well. plain and simple. But yeah, read through this anyway. Obviously, click on the little thing right here, and that will obviously start opening up some of these sections. Behave. Obviously, if you do play specific games like Farm Sim, click on the Farm Sim one, the tractor there. If you do Truck Sim, do the truck. If you do Fishing Planet, you can do Fishing Planet. But like I said, there is, once they're all selected, a lot of different things do get shown up. Obviously, you won't get access to the streaming lounge, so I'm not even going to show it. But from time to time, Dave, Boomhauer, other streamers do jump into general voices, so you can actually join them in the conversations during the streams. You're more than welcome to, but obviously, if you're not being PG or respectful, you will be kicked. But yeah, if you want to share any pictures and videos, go for it. You're more than welcome to. Also, the Sim Game Alliance does have its own FSL league, and there is a section set up just for that as well. So, yeah, just be respectful, really, at the end of the day. So, guys, with that being said, I am going to end it for today. I'm going to roll some credits and say a big, huge thank you to all you guys for coming out today. Obviously, Neil Murphy there, thank you very much for the follow and the subscription. Much appreciated. Phil Hybrid 6 earlier, thank you very much for the follow as well. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, was it Viking streaming for the resub?
You're very welcome.
Thank you, you are super. But yeah, and obviously a big thank you to all you guys for coming out again. Obviously I will be back again on Friday, my 2-hour stream before Mr. Dashnet goes live. So, but as always, check out Dave later on. So Dajnet if you want to go see him. Obviously he is the map maker. There we go. Thank you very much. Viking. Oh, crying out loud. There he is.
How's it going, Billy?
Oh, killer. You have to type out the entire name to try and find him. Yeah, no, I got it. Thank you. But yeah, we're going to go see Mr.
Right
Viking. He's also playing on Canyon Crossing well. So if you've got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask him as well. Obviously, I'll be around in and out for a little while. But till next time, guys, have a great one. And we're going over to see Mr. Viking. Later.
Later, Billy.